this. We have chosen to predict. There's 8 unannounced projects in Phase 6. Like, we got the 3 major ones, but there's 8 others that they didn't tell anything about. We are expecting them to get announced at D23. There is a lot of options of what those.
So many options. I'm re-looking at my list right now, and I've realised some of the stuff that's missing from there. And I'm like, oh shit, how do I get that in with it still making sense?
There's so many options. There's stuff that people are like new stuff, like sideshows and stuff or whatnot. I don't think we're only getting 8 projects.
Neither do I.
I think this is the 8 big name projects, and it's going to be 8 films.
I don't think we get 10 films in 12 months. However, if we do, we're going to eat good that year, brother.
Well, I lean more towards films, but maybe 1 or 2 of them are shows, and then there's extra shows mixed in. But yeah, I'm going to say now, my predictions are definitely probably less calculated and less thought out as Conor's. Conor will probably have a pretty more solid idea of what they make sense of what it might be. I'm going off what I know about and what I would like. Mix of both.
So bearing in mind, I've basically spoken for an hour straight. Would you like
Do you want me to go
first?
Yes. Okay. So, the first, I think this is before Fantastic Four. I forget where Fantastic Four fits in.
Fantastic Four is the start of Phase 6.
Is it the first? There's nothing before it?
Nothing before it in Phase 6.
Okay. Well,
I believe.
The first unannounced one, which I think is fall 24.
Do you want me? I've got them on my notes from the previous episode. Do you want me to read them out in order?
I have all the unannounced ones. I just don't know where Fantastic Four fits in.
Okay, so it goes Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 full 2024.
Yeah.
So I guess one of them technically could be before Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But it didn't look that way on the timeline as far as I remember.
Yeah.
We then have 2 in winter 24, early 2025.
Yeah. 2 spring.
2 spring 2025. Then Kang Dynasty May 2nd. 2 summer 2025. And then Avengers Secret War in November.
Okay.
So I think one of them summer ones might get pushed back slightly. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so my first fall one, we'll say coming after Fantastic Four. We talked about it last week that it was missing and unknown, but I think that's going to be Armor Wars. I think the first one will be Armor Wars because we'll have had the obviously we'll have had Secret Invasion where we're going to get Rhodey in his suit. We'll have had Ironheart at the end of Phase 5. Kind of then feel like we know Armor Wars is there, not forgotten, so it makes sense that it come out sooner rather than later into Phase 6 because it's kind of probably still in the works or like halfway done or whatever they're doing with it. Like it's already way in on the go sort of thing. So I think the first one's going to be Armor Wars. The next one is something I know less about, but you keep mentioning, so I feel like it makes sense that it'd show up in Phase 6, which is Midnight Suns. I think they do something with that. It seems that they're building up characters for that. Whether that's a Disney Plus show or a film, I don't know. I think that's in there somewhere early on. Then for my 2 winter ones, and like I'm going to say this out, the order of these is kind of whatever. I just kind of put them in what order I think works. I have Shang-Chi 2 because I feel like we're going to get another Shang-Chi.
I forgot about that. This is a lot harder than I initially thought it was. I've definitely shoehorned projects in that I want and I think make sense with my theories and not thought about what they will try and get out for commercial success.
And because like you think where Shang-Chi 2 left off, it kind of feels like it needs to, well, Shang-Chi 1, I mean, feels like we need a second one before shit kicks off. The other winter one, winter 24 to 25, I have Deadpool 3 in there. I actually think Deadpool's going to be, I know we talked about it last week where we weren't sure if it was actually going to be officially MCU. I think it is. And I wonder if they didn't announce it because they're going to put it in Phase 6. That's kind of like I'd like it to be, but I also kind of I'm not 100% sure they would. Like we said last week, they might just throw it in whenever they want, and keep it kind of loosely tied. But I'm putting it in there. So then for spring, I have Eternals 2. I think the Eternals will come back and we'll get another Eternals. Because I feel like they might be playing a part in the whole Kang thing. And then my other spring one is Young Avengers. Because we keep getting all these new characters, the young one, like whether that's a TV show again or if it's a film. I feel like that's going to fit in there. Then a Kang Dynasty. And then for summer is where I'm a lot more loose on what they are, but I have Wolverine / other mutant solo film. And then the next summer one is a mutants film or X-Men film. And then Secret Wars. That's kind of mine. So to go back through, I've got Armor Wars, Midnight Suns, Shang-Chi 2, Deadpool 3, Eternals 2, Young Avengers, Wolverine or other mutant film, X-Men film, then an X-Men Mutants group film before Secret Wars. Am I far off the mark with some of those ideas?
Some of them ideas, which I didn't think you'd have as ideas, I've also got.
Oh, nice. I'm listening.
Some of them you thought of that I didn't think of. Maybe that's more because you're like thinking as a pure fan of the MCU who's
thinking more what MCU
what
might come.
characters need to come back.
Yeah.
And like I said before, some of these might be me trying to shoehorn things in that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
The order of some of these I'd be up for changing, but I'm going to list them in the order that I wrote them in because this was the order I was thinking of them. And as we get on, I lose my consistency of what I think could or couldn't be.
Yeah.
Because it gets more tricky. So I think one of the full 2024 films is Spider-Man 4. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but in the comics, Johnny Storm and Spider-Man are very good friends.
I did not.
And him being alone now, I think it could be very, very possible to see a street-level Spider-Man film with a bit of a Johnny Storm appearance.
At the end, I have a thought on Spider-Man, but I'll save it.
The other full 2024 film I have, which you didn't have, which I think is an absolute necessity.
Oh no!
Unless I haven't listened properly. Doctor Strange 3.
Oh no, I didn't have that on there.
I think Doctor Strange 3 has to be one of these 6 projects.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about Doctor Strange because we've just had one, so I was thinking things that have been a while. Shit.
Winter 24, early 25. I think we're gonna get an X-Men / mutant film.
Okay, so
maybe Deadpool 3. But I think we're gonna get an X-Men mutant project. Maybe a film, maybe a TV show. I've called this one a film. I think that's what we get there.
Okay.
Because I think the mutants are going to be more important for Phase 7 and onwards. But I mean, they've already started drip feeding it with Ms. Marvel and stuff. So I think that's going to be our first proper introduction to any kind of X-Men. I then think, I don't know why I put this in here, because there's definitely better options. But I have decided our other Winter 24, early 25 is going to be She-Hulk Season 2.
Oh.
Don't ask me why. It's been decided. Accept it.
Okay.
I then think our first spring 2025 film, project, is either going to be Ironheart Season 2.
Oh.
Or a Civil War 2 project. Because by that point, we would have had a bit more exposure to the X-Men. And the Civil War 2 storyline could make sense.
Okay.
And we know Kang is smart, so having a little bit of a fracture as a result of Civil War 2 would then make a good time for him to strike in Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Now, I've only got one option here. This could also be Civil War 2. So I've kind of got 3 projects that I think go into these 2 slots.
Okay.
So in the 2 spring slots, I believe. Yeah. I've got either Ironheart Season 2, Ms. Marvel Season 2, and Civil War 2.
Right.
I think we get 2 of them 3.
Okay.
We then obviously get Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Then our 2 summer projects. I think we get a new show around mutants or the X-Men.
Okay.
Or Moon Knight Season 2. Or Midnight Suns.
Right.
I did say, see, this is why we should never ever talk not on the podcast. I don't know if I said this on the podcast or not. I'm not. People are nervous that there's been no announcement of a Moon Knight Season 2. That's because I think they go straight into Midnight Suns.
Note on that, which I've just realised you haven't got it in your things.
Yeah, there was a little video of Oscar Isaac and the director in Cairo being a bit weird and funny with a fan.
Yeah, it's saying that why else would we be here?
I mean, I never believe anything anyone who's directly tied to Marvel has to say.
I mean,
yeah, no, it's this definitely it means something.
Yeah, whether they're just scouting,
that could just as easily be them filming for Midnight Suns.
True. Oh yeah, true.
And then I think the other summer project is Young Avengers show.
Oh, you have that later. Okay.
Which is one I did not think you'd go for. I thought that'd be something that you obviously we've spoken about it, but I thought that'd be something that would slip your mind.
Well, it's something we've talked about for a while. Is new, like they had the Hawkeye series and different
legacy characters.
Yeah, like the. So it's like, if I didn't know if they were important or if they were involved in Secret Wars, like some of those characters. So I was like, it kind of makes sense that they would have. They'll have done so many of the shows by that point that like they need the little team up one.
I think what it kind of is it's kind of like a Falcon and a Winter Soldier style show, where the entire show is about them getting ready to become the Avengers, but not knowing they're becoming the Avengers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
So they're kind of forced into a situation where they're having to work together, and then at the end of it, they kind of accept that they are the next generation of Avengers.
Yeah, I get you. So while I